Greetings, Calm Your Mental family. This is A Freebird, Alenia, coming through with another installment of Calm. I hope you're well. I'm doing all right, I guess. As well as can be expected as we enter into July. More summer, more heat. And since we're still in Cancer season, more drama for your mama. But before I go any further, I want to give a shout out to Melodies for the Heart, who is providing the background beat that you guys hear. Love the channel, love the vibes. This particular tune comes from their tracks called Daydreaming. So hopefully I can put you into the daydream mode or the calm mode or, the whatever the fuck mode. All right, so without further ado, y'all, I've been thinking about this particular subject and how to cover it for a little bit now. And, I can only just be real. I can only just give you my walk of life and how I apply things. And so that's where I'm going to go. And the subject is the testing of our faith. And so I'm talking to anybody that has a relationship with God, anyone who is praying for something or has been praying for something, praying for change in themselves, change in others, change in their situations. I'm speaking to everyone, so this is not a specific religion-based message. This is just a message to anyone who has any type of relationship with God and prayer. And so the message is, you can't skip the hard shit. You can't skip the challenges. You can't skip the things that are going to help you advance, that are going to help you get to that blessing or get to whatever version of yourself you're trying to get to. With anything that we are trying to accomplish, there's going to be some uphill. There's going to be some resistance, an incline. There's going to be something that tests our muscles, whether it's a physical testing of our muscles that eventually produce bigger muscles, right? Or an ability to carry more, or an ability to do more in our bodies. We are not exempt from those same challenges emotionally, mentally, spiritually. So if we're praying for more, we're praying for whatever we're praying for, the testing of our faith will surely follow. because we're going to need a different sort of muscle, a different sort of mindset to carry that new thing, to maintain that new thing that we want. And I don't know about you, but for a while now, I've been in a stage of wanting more out of myself, or wanting certain things out of myself. But I haven't been wanting to do what's required to get to that new self. I haven't been willing to increase that incline, or walk that further distance, or resist the life that I've already been living. I haven't been able to resist comfort in the way that I would like to, so that I can get to that next version of myself. So I'm not speaking from a place of, I'm higher than anyone. I'm above anyone. I'm right there in the middle of it, tussling with my own will to do what is required to get to the version of myself that I'm longing for. And I have to remind myself that anytime that I long for a greater version of myself, or better results, or breaking a habit, I have to remember my faith is going to be tested. My strength is going to be tested. It's going to require different spiritual muscles than maybe in a season or a time before. It's going to require a no, or maybe I used to say yes. It's going to require me turning my back on some people and some things I did with some people. We also have to remember that when we pray for things, when we long for things that we want for ourselves, there's usually a time of facing fears, right? Of not going at things the way we used to, the way we're used to. It's going to require us to be afraid, but be so strong-willed in wanting change in our lives, and wanting change in our routine, in our rhythm, in our direction, that we're willing to be afraid instead of being comfortable, instead of going at something the way we've always gone at it, whether it means that we stay in a comfortable place or we continue in the same routine of being worried about something, if it's going to work out, but not willing to see if it's going to work out because there's too much fear welling up into us. And so instead of riding that fear out and just seeing if something changes, we retreat and try to do things ourselves and get ahead of God. And we end up in the same place we've always been. Once again, longing for that change, but not willing to face that fear, not willing to sit in that fear and see if something new comes. I can tell you, whether it was my commitment to get off my anxiety meds, or to quit smoking, or to move out of my environment. These were all things that I used for comfort. But there came a time when I was tired of being comfortable with my dependency on these things. And I spent months ruminating over, oh my gosh, how am I going to quit this? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? I spent months looking at all the cons and all the bad things that could happen if I quit doing this or that. And so for a long time, I was a prisoner to the fear of quitting my anxiety meds, of not smoking anymore, of not seeing this person anymore, of not being in my comfort zone anymore. But honestly, I just got tired of being a prisoner to my dependencies. And so I became willing. First, I became tired, and then I became willing to face the fear. Even with my struggle with my chronic illness, it was the same thing. I got tired of just accepting suffering. Being dependent on someone else's diagnosis or someone else's opinion of if I could get better or not. I got tired of dependency. And so I was willing to face the fear of not being dependent anymore, of not relying on the anxiety meds, of not relying on the cigarettes, my comforts, of not being codependent. I wanted to see what else was possible for me. But it took me being fed up and being willing to face the fear of, okay, this shit might not work out. I might quit smoking and such happens, or whatever. I might quit taking these anxiety meds and have a seizure or die or all the things or the withdrawal. But I was willing to believe that, well, shit, either I'm gonna die or I'm gonna push past this, however long it takes, and then I won't be dependent anymore. I'll be a lot freer to myself and the other possibilities that are out there for me. I know you've probably heard this, and I'm here to reiterate it. There are beautiful things waiting for you on the other side of whatever your fears are. And yeah, when you face a fear, when you dare to go a different direction in your life than you've gone, when you dare to trust that there's something else out there for you than what you've been doing, you're going to sweat. You're going to break a sweat, whether that's a physical sweat or an internal sweat, because you're facing a fear and you're building a muscle, a spiritual muscle, a faith muscle. But damn, when you get over that hill and you see all the possibilities that are out there for you, because you are willing to climb up that mountain with a little bit of hope, a mustard seed of faith that there was something better for you, that there was more for you. Your life just opens up. Anything that you really want to do is going to require the testing of your faith, as it should. You know, we all moan and groan about our trials and the things that we go through, that we don't choose to go through. But it is always those very things that refine us. It is always those very things that help build a callus, that help build muscle within us, that make us stronger for life itself. It makes us resilient for life itself. If you think about the strongest trees out there who have bore many storms, I just think of how deep their roots are, how deep their roots go into the ground. And their roots, their depth, what has helped them stand tall and strong for so long. And it makes the next storm a lot easier to weather because of all the previous storms that they've seen and survived. There's a scripture that says, "Count it all joy when you face various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience." It produces resilience and brilliance. But you have to be willing to allow yourself to experience what you truly want, what you truly desire. And you have to be willing to go through whatever is required to get there. I heard a message last night before I went to sleep, and you know, it's something I've said before, and I'll say it again. You cannot skip any seasons in your life. Our lives very much reflect nature and what nature is doing. And although the way our lives are set up, we might not exactly match nature in terms of seasons. For example, it's summer now, but it might not be summer in our personal lives right now. It could be winter. It could be fall. It could be spring. But you cannot skip any seasons. There will be up times. There will be down times. There will be stagnant times. But it's all a part of the process. So keep that in mind. The next time you get frustrated about why something isn't happening or why something isn't producing, it just may not be the season for it. Stay in tune with your body, with your heart, because your inner woman, inner man knows. Count it all joy. Count it all joy. Everything that you're going through. Everything that you're going through. Will make sense one day. And it may not make sense on the outside, and it may feel very shitty, but trust and believe it is doing something on the inside of you that will help sustain you, protect you, or make you more resilient for life. But what I'll also add to that is my prayer, my hope for you is that whatever you go through, whatever you face in this life, you can learn to alchemize, turn it into power and a gift that you can help someone else with. I think I'll end the message here. Keep going. Keep going. It's okay to be afraid. But for every fear you face, man, there's nothing like the freedom of overcoming, of facing that fear. There's so much beauty and so many possibilities on the other side of that fear. I promise you that. That's all I have for now. Calm your mental, fam. Until next time.